Welcome back. Following the death of a 17-year-old in a suspected suicide case, the island's Prime Minister says the time has come to broach difficult subjects as the country seeks to confront today's reality. St. Lucia's Prime Minister is troubled by the incidences of suicide that have occurred on island. He has extended sympathy on behalf of the government of St. Lucia to the family of 17-year-old Jove Emmanuel, who is believed to have taken his own life on Monday the 25th of March. Prime Minister Alan Shastney, like the rest of the nation, has undoubtedly heard the widespread reports that the young man was the victim of incessant bullying due to his lifestyle. His mother confirmed that much to us in an interview on Tuesday. Prime Minister Shastney says it is unfortunate that any youth could feel such a sense of hopelessness that would lead to such tragic ends.
While it's always early to question what has happened, but obviously there are some suggestions with regards to bullying and other issues. And this is a very serious matter in this country. We're seeing way too many young people resorting to committing suicide to solve a problem.
The LGBT community, in particular advocacy group United and Strong, has made the case that youth within the LGBT community face marginalization and discrimination. They have made several calls for a change to buggery laws that criminalize the lifestyle. The Prime Minister says the island has to confront social issues head-on to avert such tragic and unfortunate circumstances. He did not elaborate on what direction the government may want to take on the matter.
I think that this is something that's going to require even a greater level of attention and maybe some uncomfortable subject matters that we have unfortunately avoided, that we're going to have to address them, because this is the reality of what our world is today.
Meanwhile, staunch Catholic and Castries Central MP Sarah Flood-Bobra has made a case for looking at buggery from a health perspective and to have open and frank discussions about the associated health risks of that practice. She has been called out for the statement, with some highlighting that things like alcohol and cigarettes are also serious health risks, and yet they are legal. The minister in the Ministry of Culture is treading carefully over the hot topic of buggery laws and whether it should be revised and decriminalized. Fortuna Belrose is keeping neutral on the subject matter by not admitting or denying that the laws on the matter should be changed. However, she does believe that everyone's human rights should be respected.
I think there should be a revision of most of our laws in St. Lucia. This is a direct quote from Minister in the Ministry of Culture, Fortuna Belrose, when she was asked whether she thought there should be a revision of the buggery laws in St. Lucia. Whilst refraining from giving a direct response to the question being posed about buggery laws specifically, Belrose said some of the laws which we live by today were established many years ago and are currently archaic. She went on to say that whilst the domestic situation must be carefully evaluated, the human rights aspect must be taken into consideration.
Buggery is on our books, and of course, as a Christian, as somebody who grew up, you understand, with Christianity, I think it's important that we continue to abide, you understand, by the rules of the book. However, we need to respect the fact that everybody is an individual, and we have to respect the individual rights of persons to make their choices. Even God gave us that decision to make with respect to whether we follow Him or not, and so we have to stay focused with respect to that.
But do you think by it being a criminal act, it kind of fosters a culture of homophobia?
Well, I'm not homophobic, you understand, and so I think it's all about our minds and our perceptions in terms of the way we deal with things. But I think as human beings, we have a responsibility to respect people's position, you understand, and of course get people to respond and relate to the confines of the law.
Belrose reminded members of the media that the topic of buggery law revision is not the only one in need of attention. However, she said when it comes to passing judgment, she is not the one to do so.
There are lots of things that the book says a crime and it's not being handled, and so I think it's important, like I said, for the revision to take place. I think it's important for us to respect the fact that people are individuals and they can do whatever they want. It is their choice. We are all born as sinners into this land, and I think it's only from my orientation as a Christian, I think it's only the Lord Jesus Christ who can help us transform ourselves in the way that we should.
Currently in St. Lucia, same-sex sexual activities for men is illegal. According to the St. Lucia Criminal Code Section 133, subsection 1, a person who commits buggery commits an offence and is liable on conviction, on indictment, to imprisonment for a. Life, if committed with force and without the consent of the other person, b. 10 years in any other case. Subsection 2, any person who attempts to commit buggery or commits an assault with intent to commit buggery commits an offence and is liable to imprisonment for 5 years. Subsection 3, in this section, buggery means sexual intercourse per anus by a male person with another male person. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
In other news, Castries Mayor Peterson Francis defends himself against the allegations made against him and in the midst calls out Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire and a CCC councillor.
Castries Mayor Peterson Francis is firing back at Dr. Ernest Hilaire, the councillor of the CCC, who have made accusations that operations of the council under the mayor are raising eyebrows. Mayor Peterson Francis believes he's being made a target because he's a threat to the opposition for the work that he's spearheading in the city. He said further that he has initiated legal proceedings against one CCC councillor.
I'm taking him to court. Why does Dr. Hilaire has a prime minister in court? Because what the prime minister said about him as far as he's concerned is correct. So I have the right to defend myself. So even though he's a councillor, even though he's a policeman, whoever it is, I'll defend myself. But you see, the thing about, I'm not going to consider myself a politician yet. But when it's convenient for them, it is okay. You know, what is happening is that because obviously I'm in the way. Because people are obviously impressed with what is happening in the city council. And what they are saying, that there's no consultation, but at least I could show. They say there's no consultation for the building. The building is there, of course. They could see the difference. Whatever I've done, they could see the result. They could quantify it, whether it is cash or if it is.
The mayor further rubbish claims that he operates without due consultation with councillors. He made it clear that as far as he is concerned, he is under no obligation to report every matter to councillors.
So everything that councillors, I have to tell them what time I come into the office. I have to tell them what time I leave in. The mayor is in charge of the council, and the councillors must understand, and Mr. Hilaire must understand that the day-to-day operations is not in the hands of the councillors. The councillors are there for policy and for directions. That is what the councillors are here. They are not there to the day-to-day operation of the council.
The Castries mayor, while quickly garnering public support for his initiatives to make the city a safer and cleaner place, has also been on the receiving end of criticism surrounding his leadership style. Some, like the Vendors Association president, say he is bordering on autocratic leadership.
And former Castries Mayor Shirley Lewis grades her successor and the manner in which he has changed the once ceremonial role of Mayor of Castries.
Nothing wrong with that. Times change, people change, and sometimes it is necessary for, circumstances require certain changes, and that's quite all right too, once it is not abused.
Shirley Lewis continues to practice law here in St. Lucia since leaving the post of mayor. You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.